morning, South Africa. I understand that we're afraid. This is a really scary time that we're all living in. Things are happening beyond our control, and we really don't know what to do. And we are afraid, and I understand that. But I would like you also to understand another thing, that there's nothing that happens in this universe without a plan. And the plan is not for evil to triumph in this situation. The plan is always for good to triumph. And although the world powers and the governments might think that they have the upper hand, that they're taking over the world and taking over our country and decimating it and doing what they're doing, but I can assure you there's a much higher plan and a much bigger plan, and that plan is coming into play. I would like to encourage you, South Africa, to stop being afraid. Don't allow yourselves to be consumed by the fear any longer. You know, if you go into somebody's house where you've never been before, and they have a big dog, if you just walk into that house boldly, pat the dog, greet the owner, everything will be okay. But if you go into that house all afraid and scared, that dog's going to bite you. And I want to suggest we handle this situation in exactly the same way. We don't need to respond to this fear. We don't need to be afraid. Because if we just stand in our strength, and we stand in our peace and our calm, there's nothing that this thing can do to us. It is because of the fear that this thing is controlling us and this thing is destroying us. I want to call on you now to come out of that fear. I want to call on you now to remember all the times that you've been through hardships. Remember those times and how you came through them, how you were protected, how you were given everything that you needed. This is no different. This is exactly the same. It's just on a bigger scale. The benefit here is that there are many of us in it together. And if we did stand together, we would overcome it together. And I think that is the point of this entire exercise, to draw us closer to one another, so that we would be unified, so that we could stand together against this evil. South Africa, God has not forgotten you. God is with us. He is protecting us. He is guiding us. He is leading us. He is showing us the way. Don't think you've been abandoned. Not for even a second have you been abandoned. This is part of the plan, God's plan, not man's plan. Man thinks he has the upper hand, but I can assure you God is the one with the upper hand here. But unless you realize it, you will be destroyed by this thing. If you do realize it, you will be standing shoulder to shoulder, not just with each other, but with God, against this thing, against evil, against tyranny, to bring this country into a place it's never been before, to make this country into the great place that it was always meant to be. This country can be the healing nation for the entire world if we will begin to believe it, if we will begin to believe in ourselves, if we will begin to trust our faith and trust one another. Friends, don't give up. This is an opportunity. And I can tell you, once we have taken over this country, every single one of these businesses that have gone bankrupt, we will refinance at no interest. We will build them up again. We will rebuild this country and we will make it great. South Africa, this is our chance. This is our opportunity. We're only given one in our lifetimes, and this is it. Stand together, stand with us. Let's make this country great. The Unity Group has been given the way to do this. This is not some idea that I sucked out of my mind. This is divine inspiration. This is a divine revelation to set this country up under an economic governance system so that we do away with political parties forever. There's hope, South Africa, and there's freedom, but we have to stop being afraid. We have to take control of the fear. So go to your quiet place, sit quietly, and allow the peace of God to come upon you, to give you the strength to get through this thing. We can do it. We're going to do it. We are doing it. But it's going to be together. God bless South Africa. Thank you.